Hello and welcome to NDTV Auto. We are in Jakarta, Indonesia to cover the 12th race of 11th season of Formula E. I have Mr. Jeff with me. He is the CEO of Formula E. Thank you so much for your time, sir.
You're welcome. My pleasure.
Sir, you have announced the schedule for season 12.
Yep.
And we see few new cities coming in.
Yep.
How has been the excitement like and what's the roadmap towards the season 12?
Yeah, so we've got two new cities that have been in that. Well, one new city, one new race. So we've announced Madrid in Spain. So that will be the first time we've raced in Spain. We do our testing in Valencia already, but it's the first time we'll have an actual e-Prix in Spain. So very excited by that. And then we've announced a move in Miami. So a move from the Miami Homestead Speedway down to the centre to Miami International Autodrome, which is the same circuit where Formula One race in the centre of Miami. We also have two blank slots on the calendar, which we will fill. So we're deep in negotiation with two potentially new venues or returning venues. So hoping that we can update people on those two slots as well. And then we had the Evo sessions this year. If you saw the Evo sessions with our most followed influencers in the world, including Mr. Beast. That took place in Miami last year. We will do another Evo sessions for next season. We're yet to announce the venue for that.
Well, coming to the Indian market, you had a Hyderabad e-Prix a few years back. What's the current state of it, and do you explore India as your potential location?
So look, we've made no secret to the fact we would love to race in India. We had the Hyderabad e-Prix. We were hoping to return to Hyderabad for this year. Unfortunately, the agreement didn't go through as we'd hoped. So currently no race there. We continue to talk to Indian authorities about bringing a race back. We would love to be racing in India. We have a very strong connection with India in this race series. So we have Mahindra, one of the race teams. We've got TCS, Jaguar, and Kushmani will be racing. Jehan's raced previously. Kushmani was in the last rookie session. I believe he may be at the rookie session coming up in Berlin as well. So very strong connection with India, and therefore, we'd be really keen to come back and race there in the future.
Well, if you look at the Formula E grid, at this point in time, you have two marquee names going out, Maserati and McLaren, after this year.
Well, Maserati, you might be talking about a suggestion they're leaving, but there's nothing formal, I don't think, about Maserati. McLaren have announced they won't race in the series from next season. For a number of different reasons, changing their sponsorship portfolio. But also, let's be honest, McLaren don't have an electric vehicle. So they are very focused on internal combustion. They race in Formula One. They've announced they're going to race in the hypercar category in World Endurance, which feels like it probably fits more for their actual road car development. Shame for us because they're an amazing name in racing, and they've been brilliant for this championship. Of course, we'd love to keep them in the series, but it does create an opportunity for a new team or a new manufacturer to enter the series. So we're hoping for next season we'll be able to announce some new names on the grid as well.
So exactly, there's my question. As a CEO, what is your strategy to bring in new partnerships and new manufacturers into the grid?
Look, we have lots and lots of conversations going on with new manufacturers and new potential teams and potential new investors or owners of teams. So clearly what we want is a healthy, sustainable grid. We want a mix of historic racing names, famous racing names, but we also want new emerging electric vehicle manufacturers as well. We have quite a different audience compared to traditional race series. So gender split 50-50 male-female, around half our audience under the age of 40-45. So we have quite a different than traditional motorsports audience. So it's important we appeal to everyone. So we've got brands like Porsche, obviously incredible motorsport heritage and sports car heritage. You've got true racing brands like Andretti and Penske on the grid. You've got brands that are here focused on sustainability like Envision. You've got brands here that unlock markets for us like India, like Mahindra. Nissan, a massive global automotive brand. Stellantis, a massive global automotive brand. So, and Jaguar, which is, has actually announced they're going to go all in on electric vehicles, and they've closed down the Jaguar marque to relaunch it with a brand new brand position in a couple of years' time. So we're trying to attract a broad range of fan base, we don't just want Formula One fans to come and watch Formula E. If we tried to do that, we'd never grow as fast as we wanted to.
Well, good luck on that.
Thank you.
It's been a decade for Formula E now. In the market, you're exploring new categories, but how do you tap into new audience, new target audience, and what are your steps as a CEO to bring in more audience into this motorsport?
Yeah. So look, partly that's about taking it to different people through media channels. So you saw we launched Driver on Amazon Prime Video, which is a global streaming service. We have different media partnerships around the world with free-to-air or linear TV partners. But things like the Evo sessions we did last year. So currently Evo sessions and Mr. Beast, I think, together have 600 million video views, of which 90% of those views are to non-traditional motorsport fan base. So we're trying to attract young and new people into motorsport. So that's part of my challenge, is making sure whether it's the drivers or the teams or the media channels or the different sporting formats we use, they're bringing in people from a digital generation, digital natives, or an AI generation. So we're trying to tap into that new emerging sport. I would say that we're trying to create motorsport for the next generation.
Well, if you talk about the machines evolving from Gen 3, now Gen 3 Evo, so how has been the technological advancements in terms of machines that are sporting on the grid?
Oh God, you go back to the first season. I think the cars did 140 miles an hour. You needed to change the car halfway through the race because the battery didn't last, and they probably took 3 seconds or so to get to 100 kilometers. Current car, 1.8 seconds to 100 kilometers, so 30% faster than the Formula One car. 4-wheel drive through attack mode and at the start of the race, and operating about 350 kilowatts at peak. Look at the Gen 4 car, which will be launched in December next year, be on the track from then, almost double the power. So it peaks out at 600 kilowatts, permanent all-wheel drive, faster accelerating, and a much higher top speed than the current car, better aero position. So if you look at the technical spec of that car, in one generation, the leap is incredible. You know, I genuinely believe in the next 5 or so years we'll be outperforming Formula One cars on most of the same circuits. So,
well,
and that's right. You know, we're riding the wave of technology. I'd love to take all the credit for that, but the reality is, electric vehicle technology, that's a function of the technology that we employ to race with. Whether it's development of battery tech or development of powertrain technology, we're riding that tailwind.
Well, what are you doing on the sidelines to make the races more interesting? For example, you have Jeddah and London night races.
Yeah.
So anything on those lines to make it more innovative?
Well, London's an indoor-outdoor race. Jeddah is a night race. We're actually talking to other cities on the calendar about further night races. Obviously, you have a sporting format here that includes attack mode. This year, we introduced pit boost as well. So I think if we tried to do any more to make it exciting, we'd get a pushback from our teams and our partners. So we're constantly trying to evolve the format and find new ways of making it more interest. I think we also have to be respectful, though, that the teams here spend a lot of time developing to be competitive on track. So what we don't want to do is keep introducing things that means they have to keep learning. We have to try and find that balance between attracting new people, but also allowing for consistent performance on the track.
Well, I'd sum this up, but last question from my end would be, how big do you see the Indian market, the potential of it, and when do we see Formula E coming back?
Well, it's a massive market in terms of market potential because the population is huge. We consider it as a core market for us. If you looked at every strategic presentation I've made to my board or to investors over the last 2 years, India is always on there as a calendar target for us. That means having the right relationships in India, finding the right location to race in India. We'd love to come back to India, but we'd love to come back on an enduring basis. We don't want to come back for one season. We'd love to come back and build the sport in India for the next 5 to 10 years. So that's the conversations we're having. As you know, because we talked about some of our big Indian partners here, whether it's Infosys or Mahindra or TCS, they're keen for us to be back racing in India. They have a deep relationship with us, so we're trying to make it happen. So it's not for the want of trying. We're definitely trying to find the right route back in for a long-term relationship in India.
Well, thank you so much, Jeff.
My pleasure. Thank you. Absolute pleasure to meet you. Thank you.